But it at least shows a picture. Appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get this show underway.
Virtually an entire Iowa town went on the auction block this fall. Touted as one of the biggest antique auctions in the world, the sale included 7 acres of land and 16 buildings containing tens of thousands of items.
Auction companies once in a while will talk about a sale of a week or the sale of a month or the sale of a year, and this literally is the sale of a generation.
The tiny town of Scotch Grove was bustling in September when treasure seekers and reminiscing locals descended upon it for an enormous auction. Items up for bid were from the Balsters Implement and Parts Company. For 137 years, the Balster family had a variety of enterprises in Scotch Grove, including a gas station, lumber yard, implement dealership, and grocery store. Locals used to say, if you can't find it, go to Balsters.
We were just very good friends of the Balsters.
95-year-old Vernon Helgens lives on a farm near Scotch Grove. He worked for the Balsters in the 1930s.
The Balster family was ahead of their time. Well, you'd go over there and they had hot running water. They had hot water radiators to heat their house. They had a bathroom. You see, at that time, most of us had a path and a cold seat, if you want to put it that way. But they were ahead of their time. They were people of knowledge, people of ambition, people that wanted to make things work, you know.
We certainly felt like we had a role to play as far as the business that we were in. You know, with farm implements, hard to find parts as it came later to be. But we just tried to service the community and the public and had a longer reach because we actually sold every state in the United States. We had anything that basically a person would need for farm and home.
David Balster and his sister Susan Zazas represent the 5th generation of Balsters. Their great-great-grandfather, Aaron Balster Sr., came to America from Germany with his parents in the mid-1850s, and he set up a blacksmith shop near Scotch Grove in 1874. His son, John, or J.C. Balster, opened more businesses in the area in 1912, but he died in a car accident shortly after, leaving his son, Aaron Balster Jr., to take over at the age of 19. Aaron Jr. continued to run the family business until his son, Les, took it over in 1968.
So we went back 3 centuries worth, 1800s, 1900s, and 2000s. And so to me, that has a huge significance, you know, just to trace the culture, how it's changed in 137 years. And so we had kind of that continuous legacy of that. And I think the thing that I think the family and Susan and I definitely have appreciated is at least for a moment this week, people got to appreciate that history.
David and Susan say the business meant everything to their dad, Les, who ran Balster's Implements and Parts Company with his father, Aaron Jr., and then on his own for 69 years. After he passed away in 2009, the family decided it was time to end the business and called in an auction company to stage a once-in-a-lifetime sale.
So I came down thinking we had a couple buildings and a few items to sell and a tractor or two. And what I found is there's generation upon generation of equipment and supplies that are in pristine shape.
Graff Auction Company, based in Minnesota, was the lead auctioneer for the Balster sale. When the auction crew arrived 7 weeks before the sale, the Balster buildings were bursting at the seams. Workers struggled to walk between stacks and stacks of merchandise. They found hundreds of thousands of retail, wholesale, and service items on the shelves and floors, many still in their original packaging and displays.
Many of these parts are not only collector value, but they're still utility value. So we have Amish here from throughout the country that have come here because it's such a wonderful offering of parts and implements that they still use as a utility piece, but you can't find them new anymore.
Promoting the sale as a time capsule of America, auctioneers set up a massive 4-ring auction. Items sold included vintage signs from the 1920s, sickles and shovels from the 1940s, and unopened cans of oil for Model Ts that brought $1,800 apiece.
These are cross buck saws, 5'6" and 5-footers. You'll never see anything like this again, any kind of sale like this again, so pretty neat to be part of it.
I got these wooden bearings for old, like the pull behind horse disc. A lot of people didn't even know that this stuff was here. One guy told me he wanted a canvas for his Oliver combine, and he had the Amish make it. And here there's hundreds of them here.
Graph Auction Company said it received emails and phone calls from interested parties all over the world. Even the Smithsonian Institute called about the Balster sale.
To have one family own all of those businesses and have them all full of inventory, I don't believe I've seen it. I have people in the industry said they've never seen it, and I don't think we're going to see it again. It is that unique.
While seeing their family's business come to an end is bittersweet for the Balsters, they find solace in the legacy their father and generations before him established as the main proprietors of Scotch Grove, Iowa.
He would be amazed. He would be amazed that all of this stuff got cataloged and sorted and is going to be distributed to different buyers, and that we've done it.
On the core of it, I think he would be happy with what's happened, just with the recognition and the fact that people cared.
It makes you feel a little sad. It's an end of quite an era of time, but they have done their job well.
For Market to Market, I'm Laurel Bauer-Bergmeyer.